Don't get lost in the blur. Stay focused. Fantastic Facebook posting from a good friend of mine, Woodley. And it just really got me thinking about staying focused is challenging sometimes. And I know that for me, I don't know if you've ever experienced it where you're driving somewhere where you've been a lot, and suddenly you realize that wait, how did I get here? I don't remember the last 10 minutes of driving. I don't know if you've ever done that. I have on a number of occasions, and it's because we just kind of go into this blur zone, right? We're just kind of zoned out, and our bodies working on autopilot, right? We can drive. We haven't run into anything. It's not like we ran off the road. We just weren't really paying full attention. Now, I've had that experience on phone calls and all of that. So, anyway, so I wanted to talk about a little bit about that and how do we fix that? So, listen in here for a few minutes. Welcome to my journey of self-discovery, life balance, career success, and business creation. This podcast works to answer the question of how successful professionals like us stop drifting and get focused on keeping our careers and businesses growing rapidly while having a full, balanced, and vibrant life that we absolutely love. What we call the Third Power Life. And this is the Third Power Life Podcast. I find that when I have a lot to do and my to-do list is getting really long and I've got a lot of stuff on me, a lot of pressure, the blur comes a lot more frequently. It's like I've got too much to do. I just can't focus on it all. And so I do nothing. you know and it's not even necessarily like going on Facebook and scrolling for a while, although that's definitely definitely a dangerous place to go on a day that you've got a lot to do. And so my thought about this is to stay focused and find, I talk about the one thing many times, great book, but pick out what's the one thing that I'm going to work on. What's the one thing that I need to focus on, and do that. If you're in a place where you can use the Pomodoro technique, look it up. It's something that programmers use a lot, but the basic concept is you set a little timer for 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and you just work until it dings, and then you get up and take a 5-minute break, and you work like that over and over again. Now, there are some jobs like mine where if you were to look at my my meeting schedule, it's crazy. Today I was on calls from 8 until about 3 o'clock, nonstop, back-to-back calls. So it's hard to find time to do the work, right? But even in that, I keep pulling myself back to staying focused and really paying attention to the calls that I'm on, but paying attention to the work that needs to be done. And so that's why journaling is so important. The challenge that I find sometimes is that I'll journal in the morning, and here are the things that I need to accomplish today, and I get to the end of the day, and there's more things on the list than when I started, or there just aren't that many things checked off. And so the key is to either set a reminder, do some type of a pattern interrupt that will break you out of the blur and will help you come into focus. What do I need to be doing right now? For myself, I wear a Fitbit, and it has something where every hour it reminds me, hey, you need to take 250 steps. And it'll notify me about 10 minutes before the hour. And I use that kind of as a pattern interrupt because I sit in this chair most of the time. I usually need to get up and take a few steps. But so I'll get up, walk for a little bit, go get something to drink, whatever, come back, and then, all right, hyper focus. What do I need to do? So find something for yourself, whether it's setting an alarm on your phone, on email, or whatever, that you can say, here's my focus reminder. Focus reminder. And don't just phase out. Don't go into the blur, right? And that will help keep you focused, and you'll be amazed at how much you actually get done when you focus, even for short periods of time. 10 to 15 minutes of focused work will usually get done most smaller tasks. Some bigger things, obviously larger projects, but even then, working in short, focused bursts is amazing. I find, for doing projects, especially creative things, you need solitary focus. So especially if I'm doing something creative, I will put on headphones and put on some either calm music or very energetic music, depending on the mood. But I'm trying to tune out everything else and be really hyper focused on that one thing. So stay focused, because if you're living in the blur, which I did for a long time, a lot of us do, we'll spend most of our day blurry. Your future is not going to be in focus, right? You're going to drift because you can't see where you're going. So it's like we're going in a fog, right? It's the blur. So stay focused. Keep going forward on your quest, on your goals, on the things that are important to be done. And that's how you take and live your life to the third power. Until next time, my friends. I'm glad you enjoyed this podcast. Please let us know what impacted you in today's episode. You can join our Discord or Facebook community to connect with like-minded people that want a real third power life. You can go to thirdpowerlife.com or look in the show notes for links. And remember, hit that like, subscribe, and rate button for the Third Power Life podcast. Until next time.